or
Yeah,
the consensus. Yeah, that's not surprising there.
there we go. CMC for the #1 pick.
I mean, he's going to have a great year. Teddy Bridgewater is, I mean, hasn't shown to throw the ball downfield a ton, and I think CMC is just going to benefit off of that all year long.
Yeah, check down, back at the backfield. He's gonna eat. He's gonna mirror his last season stats. Not exactly, but it's gonna be close to that.
Yeah, it'll be in that ballpark.
Yeah, like the gap between him and like the rest of the freaking running backs is like crazy.
Zeke. Michael
Thomas had 3. Holy shit.
See, that doesn't surprise me. PPR league, he's going to get so many receptions. Saquon. Yeah, all right. Okay. So ranked number 4 players, DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona.
I got 20 seconds. No pressure.
No pressure. I mean,
you know what? Shout out to Max Animal. We're going to go out.
Bro, that was my guy. That was my guy. That's tough. That's tough.
They just made it so tough right now.
Yeah.
Zeke. Right. Wow.
I'm going to go Dalvin Cook.
I like it. Do it. Full send.
I like running backs early.
I mean, he's a starter. You got to get the elites first.
Yeah. And I think there's a tier of running backs after I think obviously Christian McCaffrey's kind of in a tier of his own, but after Dalvin Cook, I mean, you have Chubb, who's splits the backfield a little bit. Joe Mixon.
That's what worries me a lot. Joe Mixon always finds his way late first round, early second, because he's still productive. No offense with their trash team, but
Bro, no, you don't have to tell me that the Bengals are trash. I watched every game last year. I am well aware.
He's still finding a way to be productive, which is amazing to me. So I'm going to take Joe Mixon, every time late round.
Well, and I think that he's going to have a bounce back year this year, especially behind a better offensive line. Josh Jacobs.
Wow, that's surprising.
That's the first time I've seen him go in the first round.
Yeah, that's a first timer right there in the first round. Whew.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. It's kind of like I wouldn't take. I don't know. Again, I wouldn't take Chubb, being that Hunt scares me, being that he's there splitting. But he also had, D-Hop. He also had, Tyreek. I mean, not D-Hop. He had Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I would have just secured that wide receiver 1 right there.
Those elite wide receivers. Chris Godwin going before Mike Evans.
Holy no.
That's going to be something that's going to be all year long. Is going to be where do you draft those Tampa Bay wide receivers?
I like the options though. It's 50-50, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I think Godwin benefits more though in that situation than Evans.
Yeah. It's an upgraded version to me of what your Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs has been the last 2 years. Yeah. It's a premium of that.
Definitely. I like Godwin. I like the Godwin and Nick Chubb stack though. I think that's a good pick.
Pondo is set with his wide receivers, Devontae Adams and Julio Jones.
That's a steal at that point for him to even get that.
I think Julio would in the second round. That's a 6th wide receiver off the board. Yeah,
if that's the wide receiver stack, I'll take that every time. Because last year I got D Adams and Mike Evans. Like it worked out for me, like I guess here and there because Adams got hurt and then Mike Evans got hurt. So it was like up and down. So it's like they still were productive week to week, though, to get me those elite points.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs stack. I don't know. I don't love it at all. I would have took Josh Jacobs there.
Aaron Jones, to me, is going to be very touchdown dependent. He was touchdown dependent last year, and he got a bunch of touchdowns. Yeah. Allowed him to excel, but
no way he repeats that at all.
I know. There's no way. Touchdown regression is going to happen.
And it's going to hit.
You might roast me for this, but this is what's going on right here.
Oh. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, honestly, because I was thinking about grabbing Kittle.
Yeah. I mean, they're both elite talents. As far as
every week they're going to be productive, bro. So I'll take it every time.
Yep. And I just think to me, at the end of the day, when it comes down, they're both elite talents. I would rather have my tight ends quarterback be Patrick Mahomes than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes, that is true. I'm going to take Kittle because he was very productive with a nobody.
Yeah.
Freaking Nate Mullen. So I'll take that. He's the go-to. When things are bad, he's the go-to to go get.
It also might be a little superficial too, but I think he's kind of established himself as the face of that 49ers offense, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the go-to, obviously. So, like, I'll take it every time. If I missed out on both those guys, obviously Mark Andrews would be the guy over Zach Ertz. Quote me now.
Yeah, I'm not. You don't have Dallas Goedert on that team and not use him. He's too good. He is too good of an asset to not utilize him.
He's going to explode this year. Mark my words. So I'm in a weird situation. Like in my live drafts or any league I've been in, I never went running back tight end. So I'm in a very weird situation right now.
The stack of receivers right at the top of the list here is a lot of guys who there's a lot of. So OBJ just went. You have DJ Moore, Kenny Golladay, first quarterback off the board. I don't hate it. I'm not a fan of taking quarterbacks early.
Yeah.
But
in his situation, he's sitting with two of the top 1 and 2 most fantasy scorers last season.
I mean, yeah, they're the 2 highest scoring fantasy players. So
at this point, it didn't even matter if he took him in a third right now. That Kenyon Drake and Lamar Jackson swap, it's still the same because he has the back-to-back pick. So either way, he's sitting pretty right there with basically 2 RB1s and a QB1.
So because of where he's at in the draft, I think I would have taken a wide receiver instead of that third round pick, just because you're not going to get to pick a receiver until the 12th pick of the 4th round. So he's got a minute before he's going to get.
Look, give me Golladay. I would have took Golladay there.
Yep, I agree. I think that
he puts up so many points where he makes up from a running back and a wide receiver.
Yep.
I would have took Golladay there. And Galladay's off the board.
I like DJ Moore, but he's being drafted as what? So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's the 11th receiver taken.
Yeah. Let's say 10 because Juju was obviously an auto draft.
Yeah.
Juju going in the second round is more like going into the 2019 season. So I would take that as an auto draft. So DJ Moore top 10, I could take that.
Yeah.
I could take that with Teddy.
All right, who are you going with here?
I mean, you can see my board, bro. I'm sitting pretty of who I can take. But I might go with my guy, man.
Keenan Allen. He's a dog.
I mean, Tyrod, I hate. I've been preaching for the last 2 weeks that I hate Tyrod, but I think Allen will still find a way. He's going to find a way.
And I think Tyrod is going to check down quite a bit. I think there's going to be a lot of check downs, and thus Austin Eckler. He was a PPR beast last year. He finished the years running back 5 or 6, top 10.
Top 10, definitely.
Even after Melvin Gordon came back. So
exactly,
he's gone. I think they're going to lean on him a little bit more in this offense, regardless of who's quarterback, whether they take one in the draft or if they have Tyrod.
Yeah, and they paid him.
Yeah. If you can give me a guy who finished top 10 last year in the 3rd round, I'll take it. I'll take it. And
I've seen him going higher in other mock drafts, so this is actually appropriate where he should be going in the middle of the 3rd round.
Diggs off the board. I don't. Miles Sanders as your lead back kind of scares me for the Hartman 49ers team.
That's risky.
The Eagles have never been a team, at least not under Doug Peterson, where they've really set and established a lead like a bell cow back.
Exactly. He's going to be in the committee as well. That's a given.
Yeah.
Boston Scott's going to eat regardless, and it's you can't have him as your RB1. That's a terrible pick right there.
Yep. I'm not a fan of that.
No.
Melvin Gordon is the Devontae Adams Julio Jones supplement the running.
He's looking good right now. He's looking really good right now.
I like that. I love the Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp. That is a solid team.
That's looking better than my team right now. I'll tell you that.
I don't know.
Production.
It's tough because in these drafts, 6 rounds, it's a lot of teams aren't going to end up with a tight end. So it's going to be really tough to judge a team because they won't have a full roster.
But the tight ends we have make up for a wide receiver. I'll say a high-end wide receiver too. Let's be honest. Because like Kelsey's putting on more points than most of these guys that are on the board right now, week to week. So I'll take him as like my wide receiver 1 or whatever. Mark Andrews, there he is. He was bound to go off. JR has a solid team right now, man.
That's a good squad. I'm a fan of that squad.
That's a haymaker squad right there, man. All grinders, bro. Derrick Henry turns up in playoff time. Mike Evans, he gets his points somehow. Cooper Kupp, number 1 wide receiver for goal. Mark Andrews, we can debatably say he's the number 1 go-to for Lamar. Like, it is what it is.
The way that they run that offense, I would agree. I would say Mark Andrews is the number 1 pass catcher in that Baltimore offense.
Yes. Ooh, Metcalf too, also. So Metcalf and Diggs as my wide receiver 1 and 2. And then Aaron Jones.
See, I like Metcalf, but he's also going to be a guy who's a little touchdown dependent, right? He's a physical freak, deep ball catcher. He's going to be a guy who is kind of touchdown dependent a little bit, and I don't like that paired with Aaron Jones.
No, not at all. You got 2 touchdown dependent players where it's not going to benefit you week to week.
A-Rob.
Not bad. He's my quiet top 10 wide receiver, I'll tell you that. Even with the terrible Trubisky and Foles back there. Where should I go next?
Well, you figure that out. And I'm just going to hope that you weren't thinking Adam Thielen.
Yes.
That's who I'm taking.
Oh, man. Here we are.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to see a little more different coverage, but somebody is going to have to pick up the targets that Stephon Diggs got. Mm-hmm. Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins have had a good rapport the entire time they've been together. If you can give me the number 1 target in an offense in the 4th round, I would rather have that than some of the other receivers left on the board. Tyler Lockett has to split with Metcalf. Boyd has to split with AJ Green.
I agree. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's got to split with Julio.
He's going to get those touchdowns, bro. Julio cannot score.
I also think he is going to be the major beneficiary of Austin Hooper moving on. I don't think Hayden Hurst is going to don't get me wrong. I think Hayden Hurst is going to have a decent year, but he's not going to be able to fully cover from what Austin Hooper left off. And I think Calvin Ridley can do that.
He absorbs those targets, definitely. And I think that maybe Julio benefits a little bit, from him actually getting in the end zone. Can we get that this year, Julio, or what?
We'll see. I think they also use Gurley a little bit more in the end zone than they used Devontae Freeman.
To run him to the core of the earth. They're going to use and abuse Gurley, bro.
He's still on the board. That's somebody who's still
there. He's still there. They're going to use and abuse him. And I like this 4th round because you got – let me start with your Thielen. You got Ridley, Gallup, Samuels. All productive wide receivers going into this next year.
A lot of young guys there. A lot of young guys. I think that's something that I've been seeing in drafts is kind of your 4th, 5th round is taking a lot of those guys making that 2nd, 3rd year turn. Mm-hmm. Really taking that next role in the offense. A lot of wide receivers taken. That's a run of 7 in a row. And I would assume Darnell takes one here too, considering he doesn't have one yet. So we'll see.
He's going to take Boyd. He has to. He's going to take Boyd or Chark. Obviously, Boyd.
What?
Whoa.
Sir.
What the hell?
Sir.
Hold up. He has back-to-back picks. Maybe he can redeem himself, but no way. No way. What?
Either he is the wide receivers coach.
Kenny Pick's cooked. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Either
Dude,
this man is the wide receivers coach of the New York Giants, or he knows something that I do
he
not
knows
know.
something we don't. He's looking at it. He has McCaffrey and Jackson, so he's not too like worried. But like, dude,
So
what?
he's like, I don't want to make my team too good, so he's
Yeah,
gonna like let some
that's
wide
what that
receivers.
was. He's like, I don't want to flex too much. Holy shit! I cannot believe he did that. But these are situations that happen draft day. Like these are the surprising picks, the people that are going to go get their guys that they have a gut feeling are going to have a good year. Like these are situations that are real.
Yeah,
So
no, it's a
I applaud him.
carry
Holy
on Johnson. I don't hate that pick.
He's hands off for me, bro. I can't do it.
Why is that?
His real estate where he's being invested in a draft, like 5th round, that's fine. But last year, guys were taking him in the 3rd round, and it's like that investment on an injury-prone player who's not even going to make playoffs for you, where you need your 3rd round player in. It doesn't seem right to me week to week to be like so confident that he's going to be the guy that I can depend on come playoffs. Like longevity is what I think about drafting. It's like I can't take him confidently.
I feel you.
Who should I go here, man? You know what? I'm gonna be that guy. You gotta believe in something. You gotta believe.
Look, I said it at the beginning, man. I'm not a fan of this Bears offense.
Feed Monty.
We'll see. He is a guy who could definitely outperform his ADP for sure.
All we need is Tariq Cohen to just move out of the way. I really think Monty's in a situation where Derrick Henry was with Deion Lewis. Like they want to keep using the pass catching back, get him on the field as much as you can. But to be honest, Tariq Cohen's not that really good. Like he's not like somebody I'm like so attracted to be the focal point of my offense, to be like, this guy is going to be the guy that's going to move my offense and be able to take us far into like, the regular season to the playoffs. Like feed Monty, bro. He's a big back, a fucking grinder. He needs to be on the field more than Cohen completely.
So the chat is just popping off, just roasting that Slayton pick. I don't know if you're looking at the chat.
Oh, look at it now.
Roasting that Slayton pick. He would have said, so somebody's saying Gurley at 410. I'm surprised Gurley is
Gurley went out
on the board. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep, that's man. I don't know. I don't hate the Brandon Cooks pick because there's a lot of potential upside. Evan Ingram.
He's the number one. He's the number one going there. Mm-hmm. That's obvious. Evan Ingram. Oof.
See, I like Hunter Henry more than I like Evan Ingram.
Yes, that's definitely it.
Even with Tyrod at quarterback, I still think that Hunter Henry's. I mean, you don't pay a guy or you don't franchise tag a guy and not use him. I mean, and that's he's shown that when he can play the ball
long term eventually. It's just that they're in a situation right now where they got to find that guy. Russell Wilson, I don't hate it either.
I don't. He's still got a little. I mean, he's got some room to work at running back yet, but I don't think anybody's going in the next couple of picks.
The first rookie off the board. Oof.
You think he's the first rookie taken in the NFL draft? Running back wise? You think he's the first running back?
Maybe.
I think so. I think he fits pro style. I don't know. It's going to depend on the scheme. We'll see where he ends up. I hope he ends up with a team that really uses him.
Yeah, we can't say much until we see what team he's on.
Yeah, he's a guy who could be used like a bell cow back. Russell Wilson, Sean Watson, Carson. So Zach Ertz finally went. He went ahead of Hunter Henry.
Zach Ertz falling this low is like crazy to me right now,
especially after the last couple of years. He's Kyler Murray, man. That's who I wanted. That's who I want. I was gonna snatch him.
I was hoping.
Oh,
no, I was hoping, bro.
I wanted to snatch him up so bad.
I really did, bro. I was hoping.
He wasn't going to make it to you because I was going to take him.
You bastard.
No chance. And looking at the quarterbacks left, there is just nobody that I am super high on.
Yeah, nobody I'm super high on. It's kind of like the guys you just settle on.
Yeah, Josh. So Josh Allen, to me, this is the cutoff of that next tier of quarterbacks. If at that point, I'm gonna wait.
This is probably the most comfortable point to where you wait in the later rounds and you grab the third tier quarterbacks. Because honestly, all the leagues I've won, I didn't really have a quarterback. Like the 1 year I won, I had CMC and Gurley. They took me straight 2017 straight to the championship, and I brought home the gold. My quarterback, freaking Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about going Dak Prescott here. I'm not. I'm going Devontae Parker. We'll see if he can. He had a tremendous second half of last year.
Yeah.
We'll see if Miami addresses that quarterback situation. We'll see. We'll see how he does. That's a risky pick.
Honestly, I think it doesn't matter what quarterback back there because you got to think who was back there. We had Fitz Rosen, and he was that productive. But it's not so the quarterback situation that scares me. It's Preston Williams. That's what scares the shit out of me.
That is true. That is true.
The first 9 weeks, Preston was the wide receiver one. He was the go-to. He's seen the most targets. He had the most catches. He was the most physical receiver on that roster. And Devontae Parker was playing like a second-tier role. It was basically not in talent-wise, but it was D-Hop and Will Fuller. That's basically what it was. You know what I mean? Devontae Parker had the ability to make the big plays down the field and whatever the case may be, but Williams was the go-to. Until he got hurt, that's when we saw Devontae Parker's fantasy value and his numbers jump to the freaking moon.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Matthew Stafford going sixth round.
That's a huge reach. But I think people are their QBs, they're following the trend, being that there's only 6 rounds. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because, I'm not liking Matthew Stafford at all in the 6th round. Yeah. Tyler Boyd, there he is. There he is. I thought you were going to take him.
I like it, but to me, I'm shocked that AJ Green didn't go in the first 6 rounds over Tyler Boyd. And
most I understand people are probably thinking, like, is he really healthy though?
I understand the health concerns, but to me, the upside, because Tyler Boyd is not going to get you wide receiver 1 numbers. I don't care who we draft at quarterback or how good of a year that we have. He's not going to get you wide receiver 1 numbers. AJ Green could. Yeah, AJ Green has that upside, especially with looking at his roster, considering he had OBJ, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett. I'm not going conservative in that 6th round. Give me a flyer. Let me shoot on AJ Green.
You're right. I'll take AJ if he falls to me in the 6th round, definitely, for sure. I don't think he will in my league, for sure. If he's not bored at this point, give me him. Because I already secured my wide receiver 1, so it's not like I'm getting the expectation now to be the guy that leads me to the playoffs or anything like that. Like, the ceiling is there. Like, him healthy is such a, I'll say, high risk but a big reward in that situation.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Definitely. I mean, let's go over some teams like this. I cannot believe he took Slayton that early, bro.
Yeah, like, that's
holy shit.
To me, that is the reach of the draft. If I had to pick a singular, I'm not a fan of the Juju pick in the 2nd round, but that was an auto draft selection, so we'll let it slide.
We're gonna chop it up that his whole team was auto drafted because honestly, the Sanders pick is crazy to me. Obviously, Juju, and then Evan Ingram, and then he ended the draft with James Conner. That's a clear he didn't try at all.
Yep. Yeah.
So that may have altered some things in the draft, being that he's like midway through the draft at the 7th pick. Maybe he altered some positions, but we had everybody else here. That's all that mattered.
Yep.
Yeah. But Jesus, man.
Well, and you could be in a league where you auto draft as well. You know what I mean? So, or where a guy auto drafts. So
that's why I only do live drafts, bro. I cannot deal with auto drafters. Auto drafters are the worst. Like, I literally hate them because they destroy the entire draft.
I agree.
But there's I know for a fact if this guy was here right now, he would not have chosen that pick. It would have been me getting him in a later round. That's how I feel.
All right. So out of all the teams here, which team are you thinking? What's the
I want to go first, second, and third place. That's how we're gonna do it because there's
okay.
a lot of teams that I'm looking like I'm scanning the board and they're like really stacked. So like first place, I have to give it to Jaguar. Off of just the first 4 rounds, he might have blew it the last 2 rounds, but getting Damian Williams in the fifth, it's not that bad. Not that bad when you have Derrick Henry be your workhorse. But if I'm going to be honest with you, Damian Williams is more of a flex. He's not an RB2.
Okay.
And then Will Wentz, okay, I'll take it. He's productive. He's not bad, but can he stay healthy? That's my question. The best ability is like to be available. Like durability and availability is like my number one thing when it comes to like my top four, top 5 rounds. So like if I have a bunch of people that I'm unsure of, it's like I'm not really looking good in the draft. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. So my thing is, and I agree with you. You want stability in your first couple of picks, and you want to take your flyers kind of after you have that established a little bit. I think he is, in a position where he's going to have to maybe take another guy if he doesn't pan out, but we'll see.
Yeah.
A lot of upside, but also the floor could fall out from underneath him there. So it's interesting. Definitely. I like that team. So so was that your favorite team or your third favorite team?
That was my favorite team.
Favorite team?
Like for the 4 picks, that's my favorite, like off top.
So I really like Pondo's team. Pondo 32. He's got Devontae and Julio as his 2 wide receivers, Melvin Gordon, Devin Singletary, Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, it's going to depend on where he ends up.
Yeah, he's question mark.
But if Jonathan Taylor were to end up in a Tampa Bay offense, if he were to end up in Kansas City, like, man, that would be nice. Obviously, that's a dependent, but Jonathan Taylor's talent is incredible. So, he has the talent to be a top, 6-round pick. And then Kyler Murray, quarterback. If you read my article on Real Deal Fantasy,
check it out right now on the stands.
I actually haven't uploaded it yet. I gotta do that. So it'll be uploaded by the time this, by the time a lot of people see this. So
word.
I love Kyler Murray. Love Kyler Murray. So that's my number one. I love that team. That's a good spot.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah. It's just Jonathan Taylor's a question mark. It's season. It's safe to say that right now.
Could you repeat that? Kind of cut out just a hair.
Is it safe to say that it's Singletary season now?
Ooh.
That's the question. I don't know. I think they go to the draft and they get a guy, bro.
If Buffalo doesn't bring in anyone, if Buffalo doesn't bring in anyone, I think it could be his year. But if they bring somebody in, it's going to be tough. It's because
there's rumors that they're looking for a running back, but it's not solid. It's like all these beat writers, and it's like you can't take that into consideration until draft day. If I hear a beat writer talking about that like 2 days before the draft or the week of the draft, then okay, it might have some legs. It might be true, but we're kind of far out right now to where like I don't want to take any of that in consideration. But Singletary, where he got him at, I love it.
Yeah.
But is he going to be, the guy in Buffalo?
Yeah. With the team set how they are, I like the pick.
I definitely do. I was definitely up there with the first place with it. Now Philly, I'm looking at Philly to be my second team. I love it. Straight grinders.
Yeah, I like the wide receivers and the running backs. I think he's got a good pairing there. Deshaun Watson's a dog, even without the DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, I still think he's gonna ball out.
He's gonna ball out. Now that he having Cook, he's gonna ball out. He's gonna find a way to get Cooks the ball. But again, there's durability, the concussions with Brandon Cooks. That's something to question about. So you gotta think about where you're gonna invest in Cooks. So Sutton, I'm high on Sutton this year. Coach Carton has been the most quietest 1,000-yard rusher, grinder, baller, dog out there. So therefore, I'm happy with him being my RB2. 9 out of 10.
Yep, and that's a solid pick in the 4th round. The only thing I would tweak about his team is I think I would have drafted a Darren Waller or a Hunter Henry over Zach Ertz, But again, Zach Ertz is a guy who you're going to put him at your tight end spot and you're going to let it be. And as long as he's healthy, that's going to be your tight end for the year. And you're not going to have to worry about, shuffling him in and out based on matchup. So I don't hate the pick.
That is true. That is true. Now with Waller, you think Mariota's going to beat out Carr?
I don't. I think Mariota got paid backup money to be a backup. Now, could he, in a situation where the Raiders have 2 wins going into week 8 and they want to change something up, then I could see it happen. I don't think I don't think Mariota is going to be the starter going into the season, but I could definitely see him pulling a Ryan Tannehill, what Ryan Tannehill did to him.
Yeah, definitely. I think that needs to happen though, because I think Oakland going into Vegas, they need a change, bro. Because Carr, he's not the answer, and I don't think he ever will be. And like him maybe getting this fire under his ass to spark something where he gives us above average, stats and numbers week to week. But ultimately, I want to see Mariota win.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. I honestly think he'll be a better quarterback than Carr. He just needs to be a little bit more accurate and have some pocket presence. He is mobile. He's way more mobile than Carr.
Mm-hmm.
You have a mobile quarterback, that's a dual threat. So It's kind of like he's bringing in the points.
And he's been a good decision maker his whole career. Really hasn't turned the ball over. So
yeah, he had some times where he was a little bit shaky. I think it was like he had a stat where he had 7 touchdowns and 13 interceptions sometime in the season, and then he turned that up with 5 rushing touchdowns after that. So that stat became, kind of like, oh wow, where did that come from?
I agree. All right, so who's
your second place?
It's tough. I'm gonna go. It's between you and M. Dean 70. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. So I love his first 5 rounds. I really like his first 5 rounds. Assuming San Francisco doesn't draft a wide receiver and Deebo Samuel's the number 1 option in that offense, I think he, really balls out in his second year. Getting Gurley in the 5th round, I think was a steal. I'm not a huge fan of the Stafford pick, but I think kind of like you said, it was more of because we're only doing 6 rounds, he wanted to fill that quarterback spot.
Yeah, Stafford's way 10, 11th round.
Yeah, because I think that's why quarterbacks kind of made a run in round 6. But I like that squad. Michael Thomas and Kenny Golladay. I think Leonard Fournette's going to have a decent year.
Yeah. He could have the, above average year, but he's not going to mirror anything in PPR value with the 74 receptions. I don't think that's ever happening again.
He's paying for that money, and everybody knows money's the greatest motivator. So,
yes, sir.
I think he balls out. If David Montgomery has a top 20, top 25 year, your team make a run.
Oh, hell yeah. And I'm banking on Ridley benefiting, from Hooper leaving. Most definitely. That's something that I'm key on right here in this where I can take him comfortable. It's either Ridley, Gallup, or literally, Samuels that I can toss up and be like, I'm making the risk on. Because Gallup is the guy to own in Dallas. I don't think people, know that. Like, where did Cooper go? Cooper went in the 2nd. That's going to be very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I think I could see it. I think Cooper has a top 12-ish year. I don't know if I would have drafted him where he was taken, but I agree. People are sleeping on Gallup. He had a phenomenal year when he wasn't hurt. He went down with an injury, and that's tough.
Yeah, he missed 2 games.
When you're trying to get a rapport with your quarterback, that kind of makes it a little difficult. But yeah, I think he's definitely going to have a bounce back year next year.
Crazy stat. So Gallup missed 2 games. Cooper played all 16, but Gallup ended up having 6 less targets than Cooper finishing the season. That's crazy. That's crazy. Is it not?
No, you're right. That's wild.
That's why I think Gallup's the guy to own, because Cooper cannot be dependent on when it comes to, big game and clutch plays. Like he lacks that drive. And like I think I spoke on one of the podcasts I was on. Like he runs the routes that he wants to run. Like he runs, I'll say 7 through 9 routes that he'll run. Everything else under that, he's not going to put his full effort in. And like you could see that in some of the games. It's like, dude, like what are you doing? Like get hungry for the ball. Like look for the ball. So that's what I feel like Cooper cannot be dependent on, especially with his draft investment in the second round. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I'd rather wait and get the smaller guy, the smaller name, the wide receiver 2 on that team with a very productive Dak. I'll tell you that, even if he's paid or not paid. So yeah. I definitely think Gallup is going to make some noise in Dallas. Definitely.
All right. So who's your next squad? What's the next squad that you like?
I've been eyeing up like for a while. Excuse me. I've been eyeing up. What's his name? Usman?
Usman 2320?
Yeah, Usman. I love Barkley. I told you I'm big on mixing. Yeah. Then he follows up with Patty. And then he gets Gallup. And then he gets Robert Woods, which can be arguably, 1A, 1B situation with him and Kupp being targets. And then Waller. I like it, bro.
Yeah, I think that's a solid squad. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to go third round pick 4. I think that's going to be right around where he's going all off season long.
Yeah,
if not sooner.
Of course, people are going to ride the Lamar Jackson wave, being that he had the year he had. Again, it didn't really matter for the first round guy because he could have took him in the third or the second. So I'll give that up to, he's being drafted in an appropriate spot. So this squad right here, Usman, whatever, that's a playoff squad.
Yep.
That's a team I'll be scared of to play in the playoffs first round.
Yep. Joe Mixon, Cincinnati, man. He's when the Bengals make that playoff run this year.
Hey, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely give him the third spot. Third spot for me.
All right, cool. How would you grade your own? If you had to grade your own draft, how do you think you did?
If I had to grade my own, I love the Kamara pick. Kittle could act as my wide receiver 1, but then I got Allen and I got Ridley. So I don't like – I'll be honest, I don't like my Monty pick to be 100% to be my RB2, being that I'm taking that risk, for him to take that change, for him to, take that role to be the bell cow or whatever. But again, we're going into a Bears offense, which is unsure. So I'm not in love with this pick right here in the 5th round, but I needed an RB2. I had other options, but it's kind of like I went with my gut. So you go get your guys when you feel like you can go get your guys. Because to be honest, my first 4 picks, they'll carry me throughout the week.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm okay there. So I'm willing to take a risk with the high investments that I took. So Monty is like one of my guys that I feel in my gut can make that next step. And then with Dak, he's a productive quarterback. So it's like you can't go wrong there. But again, it's only 6 rounds. I could have waited on Dak later and got him. I can even waited later rounds to get Wentz or maybe even like Josh Allen or whatever, or one of the rookie quarterbacks that are coming in to just wait later in the rounds to take the chance on them for these QB needed teams. So I don't hate my draft, but if I was to be honest, I would give it like a B-.
Man, if Gurley were to have fallen 2 more picks.
2 more picks.
If Gurley would have fallen 2 more picks, you would have the best team in this draft. And I don't think it would be.
That would have been the guy I would have took right there. Yeah. Right there for sure. Not even being a homer. That would have been the most logical running back to take right there. And I'm surprised he fell this far again to the 5th round.
Yeah, me too. I think he burned a couple people last year being drafted because a lot of people drafted him high thinking that he was going to have that, elite year.
Yep.
He had a solid year, but not an elite year. And I think a lot of people are going to be burned by that. And I think he's going to have some value this season.
He's going to have some value. I think he's going to be another guy that's going to be touchdown dependent, being that they're going to run him to the ground. I don't think they're going to go into the draft and not grab a running back for insurance. You know what I mean? Like Edo Smith is there, but I don't think he's, there to be a body that they put on the field, for 60% of snap opportunity. Definitely not.
Yeah, I think they'll grab a guy for sure.
They have to because you got Gurley on a 1 year. It's not like he's there cheap, so he's there with some price tag. So I think they're gonna use and abuse him for sure. What do you think about your draft?
I like it, but I don't love it.
Can I guess where you don't like it?
All right, go for it. What's your spot?
I think you're unsure about Cook with his durability. So therefore, that leaves you with Austin Eckler as your potential RB1 for some coming weeks.
Yep. So you hit the nail on the head. I would have loved to have another wide receiver taken in those first 5 picks, so I could have grabbed Alvin Kamara. That didn't happen. I thought Cook was the next. I wasn't feeling taking a wide receiver that early, especially in a 12-team league. I think wide receivers are a little more abundant than good running backs. So I took Cook. But that's something that if I'm taking Cook at 1.6, you can bet that I'm going to have Alexander Madison or whoever ends up being that second running back in that offense. I will have him on my roster. There's not a chance that I don't.
Clear handcuff. I could definitely agree with you on that. And even with me in the same boat, we just seen Kamara play with basically 7% on a hurt leg. So my clear handcuff would be Latavius Murray. Those 2 games that Murray played, bro, he put up like 32, 34 points back-to-back weeks. And I know we all remember that.
And it just shows that Saints offense is, an incredible offense.
Back there. Yeah, it doesn't matter who's back there. So my clear-cut guy would be Latavius Murray. So if I end up in this position, like, in a real draft where I'm at the 5th spot, I'm taking Kamara all day. But then I could fall to the 10th, 11th round and grab Murray, who's going, like, undrafted in some of these leagues, which is crazy to me.
Absolutely.
That's cool sin.
So that Cook pick I was a little iffy on. Love the Kelsey pick in the 2nd. I love Austin Eckler in the 3rd. I think he's going to ball out. I like Thielen. Scary Terry. We'll see how McLaurin does with Haskins or whoever ends up being that Redskins quarterback.
Kyle Allen wins the job. I'm gonna say it. I think he wins the job.
I think there's a reason Ron Rivera brought him in, and I don't know if it's to help progress Haskins along because he's been in the system a little bit, or if he's going to take over.
Ron Rivera and Haskins Ron Rivera doesn't owe Haskins anything. He didn't draft him.
Yeah.
So that signal to bring over his guy, that was a clear whoa, what the hell? So I think Kyle Allen week 1 starts.
And there you go. But either way, Scary Terry, he was great last year with bad quarterback play as it was for the Redskins and a not great offense. 2nd year, I think he's going to be still going to be a productive wide receiver. Devontae Parker, I took a flyer on. There were a couple of wide receivers that I liked at that point. I was between him and AJ Green. And both of them are similar to they could both be great or they could both be not great. Based on, personnel or whether AJ Green's healthy or not. So, but that's kind of what I would like to do in those 6th, 7th round picks. Let me take a shot. Shot. If I'm not a quarterback, I'll Steph Curry it from the half-court line. We'll see.
Hell yeah. So the thing is, too, you got 2 of the guys that I think had potential with Scary Terry and Parker to end up giving you some weeks wide receiver 1 potential. You know what I mean? So you even having Thielen, that's a security blanket that you're going to get productive points week to week. I like those 2 ceilings that you have with Parker and Scary Terry, even with Preston Williams there, because, again, he tore his ACL. That's not something that you bounce back, next season to mirror anything you did, your first season. So he could take a step back and Parker can continue to have this skyrocket, production that he had when, Preston Williams was out. So there's that. A little 50-50 chance you took there, which isn't bad. It's in the 6th round, so you shouldn't be losing any sleep. So your last 3 rounds are solid picks. Those are grinders right there.
There we go.
Straight grinders. Now we got to think who has the worst team out of the draft, and then we'll wrap this up. To be fair, we cannot choose the guy that auto picked with the Jaguars.
All right, fair enough.
We cannot pick him because he auto drafted. So if we had to go worst team, who would it be?
So I am between I'm between Jay Stocks or I'm gonna let you see it. Who else? I'm going with Jay Stocks. That's my guy. That's gonna be my yikes. What you going with? Did I steal it?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Champagne.
Pick is that your boy? You calling your boy out?
Chill.
That's a tough Champagne. That group chat's gonna be tough tomorrow.
Listen, Odell, I literally hate it. That's what stuck out to me. Odell in the second cannot be trusted, bro. Cannot be trusted. If we're gonna think about it, Odell only had 1 year where he put up like consistent points, and then he burned us in the fucking playoffs. That I'm gonna just X out and act like didn't happen. But week to week, up to the time he got hurt, he was a stud. But after that, it's just been constant bullshit, bro. He hasn't been consistent.
I agree. It's been tough. We'll see if Baker can bounce back. We'll see if that Browns offense under a new head coach can kind of be revitalized a little bit. But
yeah,
that's going to be some work. And then DJ Moore, I love the player. I think he's a great NFL player. I don't know if he's going to be a great fantasy wide receiver this year.
Not in the third round.
Not in the third round. Exactly. Not in the third round. I would have rather had Kenny Golladay, who went the pick after, or Keenan Allen.
Follow up with Patty right there. I wouldn't hate that pick at all.
No. Especially
if make a mistake on Odell. Go ahead, take Patty.
Yeah. The Lockett pick's decent in the fourth round, coming around the fifth. Like, I don't hate that pick.
Yeah,
like
I think he kind of settle for that, honestly, because you got Ridley, you got Thielen, you got Gallup, and you got Samuels gone. Who else are you going to take there?
True.
You can't take anybody else, because if you look before your Thielen pick, you got Allen, which was a top 10, DK, who's bound to be a top 10, being that the year he had. I'm thinking that he's going to take the next step. Him and AJ Brown, like the old Miss couple, I think like they're going to take that next step where we're going to be conversating them to at least not a round higher for AJ Brown where he just went, but DK could be in the third round as well.
I agree. And then the Kerryon Johnson pick. It's
no. He's hands off completely for me. I'm not targeting him at all. I don't care if he's there and my next option is freaking James Conner. Taking James Conner. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yep. And that's running backs who went after him. Gurley, James Conner. I mean, I'd take both of those guys. Probably Marlon Mack. So Montgomery, if Monty balls out like you think he's going to, I mean, that's all picks I would have liked better.
Yeah, I mean, man, feed Monty. You got to free him, man. It's just talent just sitting there on the bench for no reason, bro. And it's like, it's sad to see. Really sad to see. That's kind of how Derrick Henry's first two seasons was. Like, we know he had the talent. We know he's explosive. We know he could do it. And it's like, you got him splitting carries, and it's like, for what? He's the freaking workhorse, people.
All right, so Jay Stocks is talking in the chat. He's just a tight end, 7 rounds. I would have been good. He said he'd have been good. Now, the reason I don't like his team isn't because it's not the players, it's just kind of how he structured it.
Yeah. The strategy was all over the place.
So he went wide receiver, straight 3 picks, and I get it. He's got a lot of talent, and I think his flex spots are pretty well solid. But Le'Veon Bell on the Jets, he wasn't great. So I do like Marlon Mack. And I think he's going to have a solid year. That Colts offensive line, they are bringing the entire offensive line back from last year, which is good. That offensive line has been incredible.
The Rivers back there too. That helps.
Yep, I think so too. And I like the Russell Wilson pick. Russell Wilson's a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
You know what? The Marlon Mack pick is a steal as well. That's a steal in the 6th round.
The more I talk about it, the more I talk about his team, the less I hate it, actually.
As we're going from bottom to up, he should have just, did a little tweaks here and there.
I just don't really like that left Bell pick. I think it's the only thing that's bothering me. But
you can't take a Gates running back system because it's so trash. The Jets are going to be so bad this year.
And then And then we've already talked about Cooper, so we're not going to beat a dead horse there.
Yeah.
And I think A.J. Brown can kind of fill in the gaps that, if Cooper were to have a down week, A.J. Brown can ball out too. But he's another guy who's going to be – he had plenty of games where he had 4 catches for 150 yards and a touchdown last year. And he also had games where he had 3 catches for 40 yards and no score. So,
yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. But, hey, we'll see. I mean, his teams, it's not as bad as I was making it out to be. I'll give him a break. I really don't like that auto draft team. That auto draft team's buns, but we'll see.
Would Jay be your worst team other than agreeing with me on Champagne?
Yeah, I would say so. I think the auto draft team is definitely the worst.
Oh, he's number one shitter.
And then, but yeah, I would say between Jay and the your boy Champagne. Sorry, dog.
It's hideous. It's hideous. Like if you take away that Z pick, oh my god.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, yeah, and you better hope Zeke doesn't get hurt because, man, if he does, you are in a tough spot. You better be grabbing Tony Pollard in the 7th round, man, because
you better be grabbing some waiver heroes to save your team.
Yep,
because it's going to be tanking at that point by week 4.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of really surprise picks that went. Jonathan Taylor, a little bit of a surprise, but not really, just because you don't know where he was going to go. The Darius Slate.
That was a bad pick because again, he can go to a system where he's the workhorse, he's the grinder because it's explosive. Like, have you seen this kid's tape? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean he's a baller, but Darius Slate, man, that pick.
That is a surprise. But again, he doesn't have the worst draft being his first 3 picks. He secured the bag.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. The more I'm not going to talk myself into Darius Slate. What the hell am I doing?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not. Nope. Don't let me do that.
Okay. Now, overall, the Giants will have a solid wide receiver core with Golden Tate there as well. I like it.
Golden Tate is a much better NFL player than he is a fantasy asset. And that's not going to harp on Golden Tate, but he does a great job of working the middle of the field. He's not going to get you a ton of touchdowns. He gets you a bunch of yards after the catch, which is something that you need for a second-year quarterback in Daniel Jones. You need to give him some playmakers who can make plays when they get the ball in their hands.
Exactly.
He's not elite talent, but he really fits well in the role that he does. So
he was a PPR monster, wide receiver 2 when he was on the Lions. So once he went to the Eagles and now he's in New York, it's kind of like, where do you even take him, honestly?
Yeah, Tate's a guy that I'm probably going to stay away from just because where Golden Tate is going to go in drafts, which I don't know what his ADP is right now. I don't have it pulled up, but where he's going to go in drafts, it's going to be guys where you're going to take some flyers. And to me, I would rather take a flyer on a rookie wide receiver at that point, or a guy who has a really high ceiling than at best, he's going to give you a couple 5-6 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Like that's I feel like the ceiling for Golden Tate's pretty low.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that's why he's falling so late in rounds. And like, if I had the option to take Tate or maybe let's say a Josh Reynolds, we don't know the full ceiling yet with, Cooks being traded. Now, me being besides a Rams fan, would you take Tate or Josh Reynolds in like the 10th, 11th round?
Man, you hit the nail on the head. I just looked up Golden Tate's ADP. It's round 10, pick 10. Yeah. So right at that 10-11 curve. I would take Josh Reynolds. I think Josh Reynolds has a higher upside in a better offense.
He has more touchdown opportunity as well.
Yep, more touchdown opportunity, and I think he's got a better chance to score in a Rams offense that I think they have to bounce back. They have to bounce back. There are going to be a lot of questions about that roster.
The only thing that scares me with Reynolds is still you have, Woods as an option and Kupp as an option. That's 1 and 2. Now, when we go to New York, it's Darius Slate, Golden Tate. You know what I mean? So it's that extra body that I think that gives me the worrisome of where I take Josh Reynolds. Is he going to be a wide receiver 3 flex, somebody I could depend on, or am I going to take the risk with Golden Tate being the late round flyer, being maybe a solid flex or maybe a shit the bed flex? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I feel you.
Week to week, because I know when he came back from suspension, those like 2-3 weeks he had after that suspension, he kind of made some fantasy relevancy, like where you're able to pick him up off a waiver wire. Like me, I grabbed him. He was like my last pick in the draft, I think. I think he was like my 14th pick. And I got him like, for nothing basically. So he sat on my bench, obviously, for 4 weeks being suspended. But that 1 week, the week 5, when he came back, he put up like 17, 18 points.
You could definitely slide him in a situation where he's going against a bad, a defense that doesn't defend the pass very well.
Yeah.
Definitely slide him in there and into that flex spot and, hope for a little bit of upside. I think that's a good role for him.
Definitely. Those are the late round picks where that gets you really thinking of like who you should take, because those picks are important, as just as important as 1 through 5.
For sure. I mean, you got to think players drafted, in the back end of drafts last year. Lamar Jackson won you a lot of games, won you a lot of leagues.
Mark
Andrews, Darren Waller, like Debo Samuel going super late.
Yep.
There are a lot of like Austin Eckler being drafted, as a 7th, 8th, 9th round guy.
Yeah, because people thinking Melvin Gordon's going to come back week 1, but that paid off for them where got him in the 8th round.
Yep. So you can find a lot of value then.
I mean, I love it. I mean, this was a solid mock draft. I mean, I would think this got me thinking like into my actual strategy going into draft day. I didn't give anything away for, guys that I actually have the league with that are going to watch this or watching now. So don't think you're getting any insider, but I definitely think this is something I could think about of who I would take in the 5th round. I mean, in the 5th pick where I'm sitting at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a really good mock draft. I'm excited for the next one. When we thinking, wait till the draft in April, see where
I don't know, maybe sooner. Let's get one done Sunday and let's change out the positions.
All right. Ball out. Yeah, I've got a bum we got next to each other. I feel like we were vampiring each other's picks.
Exactly. Because look at that. You got running back, tight end, and then we changed it up a little bit with the wide receiver, and then the rest of the draft was whatever. But I definitely like that little running back tight end combo we got.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, next time I'll go later in the draft. You go earlier.
All right, I'm in. I'm in. Then we. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll still work.
I wasn't thinking snake. I was like, wait, if that's.
Nah, snake always, bro.
You're right.
Oh man, this was dope, bro. We gotta do this again, definitely.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And everybody else watching, all the people that was in the mock draft, your teams suck. We're going for the gold people. You got to draft better. Maybe get some better results Sunday with me and my boy Cody on for the Real Deal Fantasy HQ with your boy LQ.
Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Exactly. See you guys.